Shri Singh ji, Shri Singh ji, Singh ji, Father Gregory, members of the teaching staff, parents, and our dear students. Well, I'm very happy to be here today in the Ideal Public School. It takes me more than 65 years back to my school days. I went to a boarding school at the age of 4.5 years old. I was in a boarding throughout my school and then went to do my engineering, and I passed out in 1968. Probably most of you must not been born by then. Those days were different. Those times were different. We had no calculators, we had no computers, we had no internet. And those were the days there was nothing online, everything was offline. So I'm a student of the offline era, not of the online era. Yet, we have moved with the times. Times have changed. The priorities have changed. And I must confess that my grandchildren know more about internet than myself. But then it is the age of competition. It is an age where you have to work hard and you have to bring out the best in you. But what I see today, incidentally, I am the chairman of the Parliamentary Committee for Education, Child and Women Development, Sports and Youth. Therefore, I see a great challenge as far as the school education is concerned. There is a lot of mental stress on our students. And I strongly feel that in this age of computers, in the age of artificial intelligence, and this age of Facebook and Twitter, students are becoming more aware of the world around them than what we were at our age. Therefore, the pressures on the mind of the young students is much more than what it used to be in our time. I think Singh ji is a very forward-looking person, and I strongly feel one of the major problems today is the non-communication between the students, the child and the parents. This is something which you should be very careful about. There is a word of caution to our dear parents. I faced a similar problem when I found that I could not communicate to my children. So therefore, I had to go back and see how best I can communicate to my children. And I could break the ice. So therefore, a word of caution to the parents. Please learn to communicate with your children. This is very important. Number two, the children are in their formative years very open to influences. There are all kinds of influences on the YouTube now. At the same time, there are all kinds of things which are coming on the internet. You have to break ice with your children. You have to communicate with your children. Don't push them too hard. Every child has his own way of looking at things. There are students, there are children who are very good in studies. Everyone can't get a first class. Let me tell you the number of people who become billionaires. They have been school dropouts. So don't sort of feel disheartened if you don't do very well in your studies. There are sportsmen, the cricketers, there are all kinds of sportsmen who have not completed their graduation. So therefore, first thing, communication between the child and the parent and the teaching staff. Sharna Singh, I would like to request you to keep counselors in your school so that we can communicate. You have counselors, it's very good to know that. And also at the same time, you should also be able to sort of have counseling. In fact, the parents need more counseling than the child itself. Therefore, I think time has come when the communication gap between the student and the parents have to be bridged. I wish I could have spent more time in the school. I am very happy to be here today, and I can assure you that under Sharna Singh's able leadership and the teaching staff that you have, all the students of IDS Public School, there are other institutions also, you have a bright future. So don't get disheartened if you don't do too well in studies, but you may have a talent for sports, you may have talent for debating, and you may have talent for leadership. So therefore, think what your child can do best and don't